People used to call me a twiglet back at school because I was like a streak of piss. Sorry. I was like
what?
twiglet.
There is something that your daddy and I...
There's something that Mummy and me want to...
We want to talk to you about. It's a bit serious, though.
Yeah.
Thank you for emotionally destroying me with this film.
You're
So
very welcome.
welcome.
Thank you
I feel
for coming.
like I'm still dehydrated from crying.
We got to figure that out. I got to hydrate, girl.
I need to read you this review because it is perfect.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Florence Pugh cracks eggs and cracked my heart.
Oh, sweet.
Whether we like it or not, clock is ticking.
What's the rush?
Because I'm worried that there's a very distinct and real possibility that I am about to fall in love with you.
There's nothing I love more than a good cry. What films never fail to make you guys sob?
I actually just told Andrew yesterday that I put on... The other day I really wanted to have a good cry. It must have been like the time of the month or something, or I was overworked or overtired. But I put on Atonement just to weep. From the moment the music started, I put it on to just cry. And it was perfect. Did all of it. My heart was broken, again, even though I know the ending.
It's Wonderful Life always comes to my mind when I'm asked that question. So yeah, that one always gets me no matter what.
This is just the dream duo. I'm so happy that you're both finding a film together.
Me too.
What films of each other's would you have loved to have been in?
Oh, that's a good question.
The one that I said the other day was one of the movies where I... Never Let Me Go was one when I was like a teen. I remember watching and going, how do you get into something like this? Like how... like the idea of getting into the industry was so far away and such like a mountain to climb. And I remember watching that movie with my mum, I think, or someone. And I remember my brain just going, how do you even get the opportunity to audition for the main role or the younger role? Like my brain started going, like how
You had the calling. You felt the
I was like,
calling.
how do I get to that
Right, how do I
opportunity
do
where I
that?
get
Yeah.
to try and do that?
Yeah. I was thinking Midsommar, even though that looked absolutely hectic.
It
and
was.
like a painful shoot. But my God, the results are pretty incredible. Gosh, yeah, maybe, yeah, that would have been just a trip to see that work being made, yeah.
These are perfect choices. Florence, it feels right that you play a chef in this after your impeccable Instagram cooking videos. How would you both describe each other as a dish? Because I like to think of myself as a lemon drizzle, but my family call me a cheese string. This is an actual thing they call me.
Oh my God.
Cheese string.
Like-
People used to call me a twiglet back at school because I was like a streak of piss. Sorry, I was like
what?
twiglet.
Oh, yeah.
Because my
Why
body,
are
because
you
I was
streak of piss?
because I was so skinny. I was like this one long
Not like a
hole with a
twig.
couple of like little bumps in certain places.
So you get it, you can relate to
I
the
understand
cheese.
it is what I'm saying.
I understand your
Solidarity.
pain as
Yeah,
well.
Yeah.
What would you be?
What would you be?
I think you'd be something like a rabbit terrine or something like that. Like a wild rabbit terrine or something like that. Where you'd get some crusty bits of like long baked bread, yeah, on the side, and some little cornichons. So there's lots of different elements
It's
to you.
a rich meal.
Yeah, and then you pop it on the plate, and you get that and that only, but you will enjoy it.
Wow, all
It's
right.
rich though. It's really rich.
It's a bit too rich.
No.
Sounds like.
That's why you have such a small portion.
Okay, I'm a small portion of rabbit terrine.
Yeah, because like that's the special bit. You don't have loads of it.
Wow,
Could
thank
sprinkle
you.
some twiglets on the top as well,
Yeah,
just to
that
finish
would
it
be
off.
beautiful,
Could
yeah.
do just to really rub insult into the.
I don't know what I was gonna say. I think I was gonna say like some kind of like fruit berry tart.
Okay, for you. I thought you were going to say like a fruit platter. I was about
No,
to hit you.
yeah, fruit platter, just like melon.
Like a really, really
sliced
plain
melon.
fruit flute.
No, like a beautiful berried cream, beautiful like delicate pastry, but like something colourful and yeah, yummy and sweet and yeah,
Is there like a free physalis on the top?
a free syphilis.
No, physalis.
What's a thistleus?
Physalis.
What's a physalis?
It's the ones that look like berry in a lantern.
They're like the little orange balls.
Orange, but they have like a lantern over the top.
yeah, sure, we can chuck that on there.
Okay.
Yeah, why not?
Perfect dishes. I feel like they sum you both up well. This film really makes you think about life and time, and I'm turning 30 next year, so it had me thinking loads of
I'm right
questions.
behind you, babe.
Mazel
Don't
tov.
worry.
How have your perspectives on time shifted over the years?
Oh yeah, jeez, in so many ways, all the time. I think the further we live, the more we live, time just accelerates, which is so annoying because I love living and I just want to be alive. I want to be alive longer. I hate that time is slipping and it's just so much quicker every day. Everything, it feels so much quicker. And yeah, I feel everything is just feeling, as I get older, I feel everything is just much more urgent. And also, like, on the opposite side of that, it's like, I also want to slow down more. I want to be able to look out the window more often. I want to be able just to walk for the sake of walking without any direction. I want to leave my phone at home all the time. Like, so it's a weird, interesting thing. But there's this thing which is like, apparently, like, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. So actually, if we do slow down, everything becomes more clear. So slow is smooth, smooth is fast. I think a lot of athletes say that. It's like if I slow down and go smoother, then I can actually move faster and see things more vividly. Anyway, I don't know.
I'm going to take on that advice.
I don't know.
Okay, so slow is smooth.
Slow is smooth, smooth is fast.
So, if you start being slow, you'll become smooth, and
Yeah.
smooth will then be fast.
Yeah.
But you don't want to be fast.
No, but like, yeah, so I want to, there's an urgency
Right.
with the tension of like, I want to slow down and smell everything and see everything, feel everything.
Florence, how do you feel that your perspective on time has changed?
A lot, and in some ways I can completely relate to Alma and what she's going for, what she's driving for, what she's trying to achieve. I think for a long time, you know, I started my career relatively early in my life, and I was around so many talented older people that I really kind of like felt like I was the lucky young one to be in the room, which I was. But there was never like a panic of how much do I need to squeeze in and by when, and just in the nature of wanting to achieve things by a certain time and loving being busy and loving being alive and active and loving being needed and hired. You know, you do get caught up in this very, very busy and fast-paced life, and then at some point you have to go, whoa.
Bully Hunter.
Bully Hunter, that's what my mum says. Bully Hunter, I am the age that I am, which is still young, but I also want to achieve a lot more, and I want to keep working, and I love working, and I also want kids, and I also don't mind the idea of doing it young, but when it's not gonna like all of these things, these natural things that obviously, you know, Almut is going through. So yeah, my understanding of time is I actually have to keep waking myself up. I have to keep being really, really alert and present, and I really want to be conscious in the decisions that I make and not coast. And I want to make sure that I'm not like jumping on the train and then letting people arrange things for me. I think for me in the last year, I've definitely gone, okay, I need to be very, very precise with my decision making and make sure that I am here in the present and I am watching it all happen, as opposed to being like, well, I have to be here and there, and then what happens next week and make sure I've dropped the dog off and blah, blah, blah. I think that.
Bully Hunter.
Bully Hunter.
I'm going to start saying that.
Whoa, Bully Hunter.
Whoa, Bully Hunter. And she sometimes does a high kick with it too.
Whoa, Bully Hunter.
Literally.
That's very fancy. I'll make sure I say it with the high kick.
Yeah.
We've got to talk about that birth scene because it's just incredible. I mean, when I was watching it, I actually got the shock of my life because I used to get the bus to school with Nick Hill, who's in that scene.
No way, with Nick Hill?
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
That's amazing. He's great.
I messaged him
He's
after.
brilliant.
He's so good in it.
He's fantastic.
So funny. His
So
timing
funny.
is perfect.
And then he showed up. I watched a film on the plane the other day, Gran Turismo, which he's in as well. I was like, that's my
Oh,
guy.
wow. My favourite bit, actually, one of my favourite bits in the entire movie is when he needs to go at kicking the door down. It is so beautiful.
Very funny.
It's so perfect.
How intense was that scene to film?
It's intense.
Yeah.
Mad, yeah, intense. Really intense.
We gave birth 8 times and we didn't get any baby to show for it.
Funny. But it's the kind of scene you read in a script, and I was like, I've never seen anything like this on a cinema screen. I've never seen a scene like this in a film, and that is so rare when you go, oh, this is crazy, and then you get excited about the idea of doing it, and then it comes to the day of doing it, and you're like, how the hell are we gonna actually do this? And then it just kind of happens. It happens in the way it's meant to happen. And yeah, I was really, really. There was a beautiful 2 days we had making that scene, and I love the result as well. I think it's such a great scene.
You know something that I was thinking of last night when I was trying to go to sleep
Tell us.
I will. I remember every time John said cut, obviously it was a really exhausting scene and super hot, super sweaty, been panting, screaming, like both of us were, it was exhausting every time we did a take. But I also remember every time he said cut and he'd give us our notes, I remember getting really excited about the time that he'd say action again. Like I would be getting really excited that we got to do it again and we got to go through the motions again. And it was super intimate. That entire scene was super intimate. Like I'm not wearing really anything on the bottom. And I've got like him behind me delivering a baby. The whole thing was just mad that A, we did it, but B, that we both felt comfortable enough to be in that space together in the state that we were. And that's super rare. Like, I don't know, I mean, I just don't know how that would have happened unless we were, but it was so natural just how safe we felt at that point in the movie.
And with all of that, remember the first take? It was either the first take or the second take. So as Florence just said, it was an incredibly vulnerable position, all fours, naked, whatever. And we're just getting ourselves going. And at a certain point, I have the paramedic, the midwife on the phone.
He's actually on the phone.
She's on the phone, and it's on this.
Not with an
phone.
actual paramedic.
No, the actress playing the paramedic, and it's on speakerphone. And we're in the middle of this very intense thing, and suddenly the line drops, and it goes, boop, 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 you have run out of credit. And I wanted
You nearly...
to murder
we were in the middle of giving birth.
And she was naked and heaving, and I was like, guys, you have to be kidding me.
We can't be dealing with
You have to be kidding me. You didn't put enough credit on the phone for the birth? It was like one of those moments where I had to take a walk.
Yeah, you were in proper Papa Bear mode.
I was like, because the whole thing was like, I'm delivering our child. God, that was really intense.
Yeah.
I've got to ask, have you finally got a pet snail? Because the last time we spoke, you said you were desperate for one.
No. I am going to get a giant African snail, but the thing is that you have to have I'm away a lot and I don't want to travel him or her around the place. So I'd have to have someone that would be dedicated in coming and looking after them. So, Andrew?
This man right here.
Yeah, I ain't got anything else to do.
But nothing.
Honestly, whatever you need.
Whatever you need.
What do you need?
No, I mean, just if I get a giant African snail, could you come and...
I have a couple of jobs lined up, but I will cancel.
No, cancel them.
Done.
Who could you really be wanting to work with other than a snail?
More than a giant African snail.
Exactly.
Apparently they do smell though.
Do they?
You love that though.
Sorry, I feel like I'm breaking your heart right now.
I have a really...
What do they smell of, snail?
I don't know, apparently they just smell really bad. But keep that dream alive. Guys, thank you so
Dream
much.
ruiner.